against Huddersfield in front of his family here 2 weeks ago. That's a bad concession and an opening here for Forest straight away. In the first 2 minutes of the game, they lead! And what a dream for Jamie Mackie! There is nothing better for a new striker than to score his first goal for his new club in front of the home fans. It was a defence-splitting pass. The Bolton defence was nowhere to cope with that, and Jamie Mackie took it in his stride and took it with aplomb. It was a rather loose clearance from Zap Knight, and Mackie clear slid it beyond the reach of goalkeeper Bogdan into the corner. It is Nottingham Forest 1, Bolton Wanderers 0, and we've not been playing for 2 minutes at the City Ground. Dream start for Billy Davies and co.
If Wasby chooses to launch this one to the edge of the area, there are 4 in red shirts there, but in fact he switches the point of the attack as fires right over to the far touchline for Cohen, and now for the left-footed Reed. Slide rule ball from him. Mackie, lovely approach play, and Bogdan clings on. And a good job he did too, with Henry Lansbury coming charging in on him. Wilson for Forest, back home so to speak. Jeffsky. And again the pole, this time prodding the ball wide for Cohen. Reed, who is probing from this deepish position, but he just weight a ball beautifully out here into the path of Lehigh. And although one-on-one, he gets the ball across, and it was the right boot of Knight that cleared it. And Cohen will want to keep this ball in. He'll ask Reed to prompt again. Always has it on his left foot, doesn't he, Reed? Swings it across into the Lehigh area again. Useful ball. This time dealt with by Wheater. Guardiola, former Wolverhampton Wanderers player. Into Reed, who's had several clubs. Oh, good ball from him. Rajewski, it might yet, he's still onside, is Mackie here? But there's no power in the angle shot. I don't think he realised he had a bit more time there, and he's spun on the effort, Mackie, but dribbled the shot straight through to Bogdan. He was rather fortunate, the ball cannoned away off the defender, right into his eye line. The angle was acute. And it will be Spearing's right foot. It sends it through, and the ball bounced down off the underside of the bar, but the flag has gone up in any event for offside. Well, Baptiste climbed into it. Good free kick from Spearing. Well, the man on the far side of the ground from here, Mr. Edward Smart, said he'd gone too quickly. Let's see if he had a slight push there. There were 2 Bolton men in offside positions, and that's why it doesn't count anyway. But the ball cannoned off the bar and down and out. Guardiola did do. Lansbury now. Useful. Not that. And Pratley has found Chung Yong Lee. Pratley will continue here. Sweeps it left, Hall into the area. Danger this time, and it's a driven ball which went flying across the face of the Forest 6-yard zone with nobody able to get a touch. And that's been the story of the half for Bolton. There have been a number of crosses whipped in, especially from the left-hand side, but all way too far ahead of anybody else in white, and that was never going to threaten the net either. It was in 1999 that Nottingham Forest last graced the Premier League, so that is their ultimate ambition for this season, to reclaim that berth. Mido breaks to Majewski. Oh, there's a spot of bother in the centre here. The referee is pulling out a card. It's got to be yellow. The Forest players are furious here, but a yellow card is shown. Guardiola again in the heart of the matter here. And look at the fury here between Mido and Reid. There's going to be a free kick for Forest, who were unhappy because Majewski was in a good attacking position as the ball broke to him. But Mr. Hayward immediately pulled things back to signify a free kick, and Mido is the one who's in trouble. Hobbs, now Reid. A little touch on the ball from Reid, and then it is swept wide by Mackie. Chance for Majewski to refine Mackie, pulled back in here. And if that had have reached Halford, who was in a great position right by the penalty spot, it would have now been 2-0. But there's one record that Bolton want to keep going today. They've scored in all their last 12 visits to the City Ground over many years. Not yet today. They trail by 1. Stab in here. Chance for Majewski. Swings it back in. Reid! 2-0 Forest. Andy Reid has his first goal of the 2013-14 season. Beautifully laid on, deliciously finished for Davis. Andy Reid, the man who has cost over £8 million in transfer fees down the years, may have been booked in this match, but he now has a goal to his name as well as a card. Perfectly picked out by Majewski, and he was never going to miss from there, not with that trusty left boot. Bogdan picks it out. Reid drives Forest into what could be an unassailable lead. Andy Reid's last goal for Nottingham Forest was scored against Bolton Wanderers back in February. He likes playing against them. A rather unfortunate ricochet here opened the door for Pratley, and he might still get in here. It is Darren Pratley, and the header is just the wrong side of the upright. Pratley close to extending his sequence of scoring in championship games this season. It was just the bounce of the ball that gave him the chance here. First of all the ricochet, then the second ricochet looped onto his head, but he couldn't steer it anywhere near the net. Billy Davies appears to have the knack of creating explosive openings to halves. The 2 Forest goals coming in the early minutes, so there could be another one here. It's Halford, snatches at it, inside of the upright. A shaved post away from being 3-0. What a good goal that would have been by Halford, who does have one this season in the Capital One Cup. Wasn't an easy shot to take on by any means. Forest are on song here. Bolton are rocking. Bolton came back well in the first half after the early concession, but at the moment they are second best in this half. And by some distance, Greg Halford here. Oh, he's off. It's a red card. A second card for Darren Pratley. And he's almost smiling, I think, but Darren Pratley has paid the price here. Well, I did say at half-time that the referee was... Through ball, Reid to Halford, attacking from the left touchline. There are 2 in red, steaming up on the outside, but he couldn't get the ball beyond Tierney. Again, Guedioura and Reid combine. Danger once again here to Bolton as Mackie goes on. If he gets a third one, it'll be all over. All he's done is hit the big screen, not the net. Well, it was a lovely angle he created for himself here, turning inside the defender Baptiste, but then launching it into orbit. And now a goal. He was desperate to get back here for the job the second time around. Chung Young Lee has conceded possession here, which is taken on once again by Cohen. 4 Forest players up in this one, through from Majewski. Lovely ball from him, and an absolutely desperately necessary challenge from Wheater to deprive Mackie of a third Forest goal. Bolton are on the ropes. They really are hanging on here by their fingertips. That was a clever little ball into the area to Mackie. And the Forest fans are anticipating a third goal for those in red. Clever. It's Reed. It's Cohen. It's Majewski. It's a corner. The thing about Forest in this half is they look to be enjoying themselves, and well, they might, I suppose, with a numerical advantage and a goal advantage. 2 goals. And Reed sends a different signal to the players. Couldn't quite deliver. It is Guardiola who'll crash it in straight into the fans. His last goal came last November against Wolves. Guardiola. Reed's came about a quarter of an hour ago. Back to Andy Reid. The angle ball from Guardiola, driven hard across, it may be 3, it certainly is, and it's the head of Henry Lansbury. They have ripped Bolton to shreds in the second half. And Henry Lansbury does to Bolton Wanderers what he did to Huddersfield Town on the season's opening day. He points to the skies. The cross was superbly delivered to the back stick, and the header matched it. Lansbury has his second goal of this young campaign, and Bolton Wanderers have been simply blown away in the second half. Destroyed. 3-0. Excellent cross from Halford. Excellent finish from Lansbury. Forest 3, Bolton 0. Surely now it's going to be damage limitation for Bolton Wanderers. 25 minutes to go, they trail by 3. Three-nil it is, 19 minutes to play. Can Forest add to it and add to Bolton's humiliation? And if there are any more goals, it will be humiliating for them. And here's an opportunity. It's driven across, and it flashed by the uprights. Well, there's a big smile on the face of Eric Lehigh. It would have been an even broader grin if he had found the net this time. Just checking inside there, and the shot flies by. From a different angle, we'll be able to tell by how much. Sufficient for Bolton. Three in here, Bolton are in real trouble. Surely Forest should capitalise this time, but they don't, because the ball is sliced over the top of his own bar by Baptiste. Otherwise there would have been a ring to the scoreline of 4-0. They really should have done better here. There were 3 up against 2, 3 in red. One of the whites got back. Alex John Baptiste. Yet another in-swinger to come from